A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the 15th KG Ladies Open. This, of course, is the KLPGA 2026 and it's the 21st event in the calendar. We are coming at you live from the Sunning Point Country Club. It's a par 72 for the asking, 6,308 meters to cover. It's round 3 and it's going to be a very interesting day. Keep in mind the fact that yesterday we had so many ups and downs, so many surprises and so many bits to talk about. So that's all happening right here. And while we talk about it, let's keep in mind the fact that Koji Won is on to a third effort. She's carrying an 8 under and this is for the 9th hole. Also going to keep you well updated with what the weather conditions currently look like. Remember yesterday we had a huge bucket of rain come down, but it did not stop play. Our golfers just labored on. It was an absolutely fantastic day, and somehow or the other, even though a lot of them started missing out on their putts, it turned out to be a great day of golf. Now here it is, 29 degrees Celsius. That's what the temperature is at currently. 0.4 miles wind speeds, and well, here is that lovely golfer from Thailand, Jaravi Boonchant. She's currently on a 9 under. She's a joint leader, and that is she's on the 9th hole. It's going to be a third effort. Remember, she won an event this year. It was the first KLPGA win. Absolutely fantastic golfer to watch in action, and it's well, nice to see her well right there at the top today. And she's been getting this right. Her placement on the green in this event has been really, really terrific. So very well placed by her. Park Hae-jun, she's made her presence felt since yesterday. A lovely approach shot right there plumb next to the tin cup. She's also carrying an 8 under. Fairly cloudy skies today, but nothing too dark. Ryo Seung-wi, meanwhile, is on to a second effort for hole number 9. She too is the joint leader, carrying in a 9 under. She was actually the star of yesterday's show, but she did have a few bits and bobs here and there that did not go her way. But always an exciting golfer to watch in action. Very unassuming golfer, Ryo Seung-wi. I remember the first time she came on and it looked like, well, she was just one of the newbies on the course, and then she went and won a few events. Absolutely terrific talent to watch. Han Jae-hee, also one of the golfers in focus yesterday. She's carrying a 7 under here. Jung In-soo will go next, and she's on to her second effort. She's kind of stuck at that, well, 7 under score. She's been there for quite a bit, and I'm sure she'd like to change that. There's no doubt about it. Well, all the golfers would. You know, you definitely want to get in, well, a change in your scores, and you definitely want to do, well, more than what is expected. That's when you challenge yourself. Koji Won next, aiming for birdie on hole number 9. There's a fair chance of her actually getting that through without a problem. Definitely a chance to have knocked that through. And she will settle for an even score. She's still on that 8 under, 34 on the out. She's had 2 bogeys, 2 birdies in there on the out. So I don't think she'll be too upset about that. She should be happy. Meanwhile, Jung So-yi onto a second effort for hole 11. Jaravi Boonchant aiming for birdie on hole number 9. That's well placed by her. So 2 birdies in there. She's got 34 on the out. I did say this earlier, she's a lovely golfer to watch in action. Very good temperament. Choi Yun-woo will aim for birdie on hole number 15. Well, she's also got... Choi Yun-woo did have her moments yesterday. Well, Jaravi Boonchant has also got her country... Well, a teammate, or country counterpart, Patrajatar Konkrapan, and well, she did make a bit of a splash on the Thursday, but struggled through as she got towards the end. Kong Yoon-ji now with her approach for hole number 10, responding with a 9 iron. Anji on to the third effort for hole 9. Sung Yoo-jin, second stroke for hole 10. Jung In-soo on to a third effort for hole 9. Ryo Seung-hui onto her approach shot for hole 9. It's a par 5, remember. She just has 128 meters to cover. Siokyu Rim onto her approach shot this time for hole number 13. She's still very much in the running. Don't write her off. Currently only with a 7 under. She was really the golfer in the spotlight, in focus, under the magnifying glass on in round 1, and that's because she's coming away with 2 wins from the previous 2 events. But it's left to be seen what she can actually, come up with in this event. Can she make it a consecutive win, 3 consecutive wins and a straight hat-trick? She's already won 4 events this year, and isn't that lovely? Young golf fans turn up. It's always a joy to watch them. And most of the school children here, well, really the joy of our lives, isn't it? Always fun to see them. And it's actually great for the golfers because they get to get a bit of cheer, and then for the young ones, they actually get a chance to meet their golfing idols, get a few notes from them. Many of these young children, of course, are potential golfers for the future. Not all of them are just plain, school children coming out for an excursion. And to get to spend time with all these talented golfers, get a few tips from them, a little bit of encouragement, can actually set you on a path to a career. And there you go, great cheer there for that tee off. And that's put a smile on her face as well. And that's exactly what I meant. Having the young ones around, it's really gold. Always, always. And you'll see so many of them tomorrow with their moms and dads. Just outstanding. Anjehi needs to get off the shoulder with this one. It's been, along with Jung Yun Soo, it's been a bit of a, tough one. Anjehi too has kind of, hovered around that 7 under region, and I'm sure she'd like to do a little bit better than that. And sometimes you just get stuck in a zone that you can't get out of, and no matter what you do, you keep hovering around that same score. Here's a young lady who hasn't been doing that though. Jaravi Boonchand, still the joint leader here, will tee off for hole number 10. Remember, it's a par 4 for the asking. Needs to get her thoughts together. Hole number 10 has got that lake that surrounds the hole with juniper and cypress trees in a parade on the cart path to the right. You've got to aim to the far left edge of the green for the tee shot. And that's exactly what she's done. If the ball goes toward the left bunker, there's a risk of it falling into the hazard behind it. I think Jaravi Boonchand has just avoided that. There's also left and right slopes at the back of the green on hole number 10 that are very tricky. You've got to stay away from those. Siokyu Rim, chance for a birdie here on hole 13. Very well played. A victory lap here for her. And Siokyu Rim now in tied 4th. She's done very well today. 5 birdies in there. Currently on an 8 under. Absolutely marvelous performance from a great comeback actually. 5 birdies. Boy oh boy. Ryo Seung-hui aiming for birdie on hole 9. Well, bridged the distance of that 6.5 meters, just a little bit too much, but she'll be able to tap it in to close it off for this hole. And she'll keep it on an even score. Wasn't I talking about that earlier? Here we go. Jaravi Boonchand, Toji Won, all the golfers, we'll shake hands. We'll get a few high fives there with the young ones. And what a joy for the young ones to come out here and, as I said, meet them. And if you ask me if there's anything that can give you energy as a golfer, it's not the fans, family and friends who are used to, but it's when the young children come out. Well, they can give you a dose of energy and enthusiasm like nobody else can. Can't argue with me on that. So here we go. Elsewhere on the coast, strong focus and concentration. The need, of course, to find the tin cup, Jung Yun Soo. She's currently aiming for a birdie on hole 9. Chance for her to, well, just change things from how it's been, panning out since yesterday. Hong Hyun-ji on to her third effort. Choi Yun-woo for birdie on hole 16. I think just a bit impulsive on that putt there. Having said that, it's easy for me to just talk, but it has to be difficult for the golfers, depending on the level of difficulty. Sung Yoo-jin will aim for birdie on hole 10. Just needed to work around that curve. Park Hae-jun just going through the motions there. Needs to coax that ball in. Shin Ji-woo onto her second effort for hole 10. Gentle lift from her. Oh. That was such a well-crafted shot. Such a well-crafted putt. Can't help but feel a tad bit awful for her. That ball definitely shy of the dark, there's no doubt about it. Meanwhile, yes, Koji won.
Oh, good job!
It's well placed on the green. Absolutely marvelous effort from her. So Jaravi Boonchant, well, now at the top of the heap there with a 10 under, while Ryo Seung-hui and Park Hae-jun are in tied second with 9 under. Choi Yi-rin, Choi Yun-woo, of course, sit in the next level, and it's kind of interesting to see how Jaravi Boonchant has actually assumed the top. Now you look at the tied fourths, you've got Choi Yi-rim, Choi Yun-woo, Seok Rim, Jong So-yi, Yoo Ah-yeon and Ko Ji-won. Keep in mind the fact that they are all on 8 under. It's turning out to be a very close contest, because then in the tied 10ths, you've still got a big order there, including Shin Da-in, who won the event last year. You've got Jung Yun-soo. You have, a whole lot of other golfers, including, Seok Rim, who's still hovering around the region. So it's going to be a very interesting one. Seok Rim is in tied 4th currently. And I do believe this contest is heating up to a definite electrifying finish for tomorrow. Stay with us, don't go anywhere as we continue with our coverage of the 15th KG Ladies Open in the KLPGA 2026. My name is Glenn Mascarenas, and I'm here to take you through the day's events and through tomorrow as well. Well, I do love the fact that it's an absolutely nice and easy day in terms of the color code or the color temperature, and that will tell you how pleasant it is here today, in spite of the temperature being at about 29. Jarvi Boonchant aiming for birdie here on hole number 10, and this could give her an even better lead. She's currently the leader with 10 under.
Yeah. Oh.
Now that's a Cuban for her, but as long as she can keep it on par, I don't think she has too much to be concerned about. And that's well done by her. She'll keep that 10 under score. Here's Ryo Seung-hui as she tees off for hole number 10. We'll drop the point here earlier. She's currently on 9 under. She'd definitely like to change that around. There we go. Well, all the young ones at hole number 10, so whoever gets there gets a reboot or a recharge with enthusiasm before they can move on. And Ryo Seung-hui, well, she's such a delight to the children, isn't she? Shinji Wu will aim for birdie now on hole number 10. 3.7 meters to cover. Sung Yoo-jin on to a second effort for hole 11. Yoo So-yeon tees off for hole number 12. Sung Yoo-na on to her second effort for hole 11. Park Hae-jun, second effort for hole 17. Jang In-soo. It's going to be a second effort for hole 10. Ryo Seung-hui on to her second effort for hole number 10. She's still on that 9 under. Beautiful placement from her. Sanjay He on to her second effort for hole 10. Shoki rim. Chance here for an eagle. I just wish you would have got that. I really wish you would have got that. So needed here. Sun Yujin will aim for birdie on hole 11. It's well played by her. Jahi just missing out on a birdie there on hole number 10. Sung Yuna aiming for birdie on hole 11. Chance to make it count, but there are some days, of course, when things will just kind of work against you. Jung In Soo still on that 7 under, aims for birdie on hole 10, and I'm sure she's trying to shake that tag off. And she'll have to keep it to another even score. Chayumbu. Chance for a birdie on hole 17.
우리가 좀 더 먼 것 같아.
Ryo Singwi will be a happy camper here. She's done fairly well so far, but yesterday, of course, was her day in the sunshine, even though there was a lot of rain. That, of course, did change things around, to be fair to her. Park Hae-jun aiming for birdie on hole number 17. Well, almost does it for her. That ball just falling shy of reaching its destination. goes, Yoko Rim aiming for birdie. And Yoko Rim may have missed out on an eagle, but she's got 5 birdies in there, moves up to a tied third and a 9 under. She is flying in 2026, and more than the golf balls are. It's looking at probably her 5th win as well. She'll be chasing that. Choi Yun-woo looking to finish on par here for hole 17, and that's going to be a bogey for her. Jung So-yi will chip that up nice and easy. Won will go next. Well played by her. So-yi looking to finish on par here for hole 13. Choi Rim will aim for birdie next. Hanarium on to her 3rd effort. Choi Rim looking to finish on par here for hole 18. So 17 round 1, 71 in round 2 and 67 in round 3. Choi Rim has done really well to finish with an 8 under here, and we will see her back tomorrow for certain. So Ryo Seung-hui back up on top as she ties in with Jaradi Boonchant. It's been a ride for her, and she's on 10 under as well. Park Hae-jun, Shin Dae-in, and Seokyu Rim, of course, will sit in tied third, and that's going to be very, very interesting because they currently, well, are on 9 under. Seokyu Rim still very much in the running for her 5th championship this year and a 3rd consecutive one. Choi Rim, Yua Hyun, and Ko Ji Won are in tied 6th with 8 under. And then, of course, you've got Choi Yun Woo, Park Hee-ji, Hana Ryum, Jung So-hee, Song Yuna, An Jae-hee, and Jung Yun-soo sitting there with 7 under in tied 9th. Jeremy Boonchant will just about, well, clean that up. It's been a very good event for her today. Now she's tied in there with Ryo Seung-hui. Meanwhile, Song Yuna will aim for birdie on hole number 12. Well, just narrowly missing out, so she'll have to finish with an on-par. Just a quick word there to the other, well, caddies of the golfers. She'd want to finish that, and that's what she's done. Park Hae-jun onto a third effort for hole 18. And Jae-hee. Second effort. Meanwhile, here's Ryo Seung-hui onto her approach shot for hole 11, 135 meters to cover. So Shinda In coming out there with a hat-trick of birdies. She's currently on 9 under. Remember, she won this event last year. She's the defending champion, and it's been quite an event from her. You wouldn't expect it, but day 3, or that's round 3, just bringing up all sorts of surprises. Now here she is on hole number 17. Needs to get off the shoulder, and even though birdie might be a bit of an ask at 19 meters, I think if she can keep it to an even score, she's going to keep herself in running for her defense of this title. Jeremy Boonchant teeing off for hole 12. Here's Hyokyu Rim as she aims to birdie on hole 15. Chance here for her to get back up on top. Oh, well crafted, but I do believe just needed to get that curve right. But she's got to keep that even score if she wants to keep her score intact. She's had a very, very good outing today. G1 teeing off for hole 12. So after Koji won, teeing off hole 12, here's Park Hae-jun looking to complete her efforts. She's been good today. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the course, it's Hyo Seung-hui aiming for birdie on hole number 11, and that's for an outright lead as well. She'll have to settle for an even score at this spot. Shin Da-in looking to finish on par for hole 17. Very well played. Choi Yun-woo aiming for a birdie here on hole 18. Well, that would have been such a terrific finish. Very, very confident putt. .34 on the out, 35 on the in for Choi Yun-woo. Not the finest, but she's done fairly well. Park Hae-jun will finish with 67 in round 3, a bit better than round 2, of course, and we probably will see her back tomorrow as well. She's had an interesting day, a few ups and downs, but she's done well to hold her head high above her shoulders. So Jaravi Boonchant and Roh Seung-hui continue to lead the way with that 10 under score, while Park Hae-jun and Seo Kyu-rim are in tied third with 9 under. Park Hae-jun doing really well to finish it off today. As far as the rest go, of course, you're going to move then down to the tied thirds, where you've got a trio there of, well, you did have a trio, but, well, Shin Da-in just moving out of that. So in tied 6, you've got Choi Rim, Yoo Ah-hyun, Koji Won, Park Hee-ji, Choi Yun-woo, Yoon Soo-ah, Chong So-yi, Song Yoon-ah, An Jae-hee, and Jung Yun-soo. It's going to be very interesting to see how well they perform and well, what their efforts are. But I'm still going to be looking at this very, very cleanly. Seo Kyu-rim still very much in there, and Shin Da-in, of course, moving into those tied fifths. But she's had a wonderful day as well, and she's just through hole 17. She's still got one more hole to play for. Jarvi Boonchant currently at 10 under. Oh, that should have just found its way into the tin cup, and she knows that as well. Well, that would have been such a marvelous lead for her. Here's Shinda in onto her second stroke. She's at 8 under currently. That's the last hole she's going to be playing for. So just to look back,
Four.
that was during the playoff of last year. Remember, Shindayan won it. She had Yoo-Hyun Jo and Han Bitna along with her. And that ball certainly had a mind of its own as it traveled and found its way. It was just, I think, one of the greatest ever moments in the KLPGA history. And one of the most odd as to how a ball found its way back in onto the rough after practically being out. That was such an amazing moment, wasn't it? So Shindayan last year, she was the winner in that three-way playoff. And a very, very well-earned win as well for her. Koji Won will go next. Absolutely lovely drone shot there once again, just giving us a wide-angle view of the course. And while we talk about it, Piercing Wee gets ready to tee off. And this is for hole number 12. Well, just onto a bit of the rough, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. Jarvi Boonchant will tee off for hole number 13. She still kept that joint lead. Well, very nice follow through. Just about missed the bunkers though. Should be happy about that. Up next, it's going to be Koji Won. opportunity here to make it count for most of our golfers, and that, well, drone shot which had that fountain in view just looked like it was a, well, star in the ocean. Beautifully done. Here's Singui looking at her opportunities. Needs to get off the, well, shoulder of the green. Still the joint leader. Remember, it was a par 3 for the asking for hole number 12. Very well played by her. Shendayan will go next. Her approach shot will matter because she'd want to finish with a birdie here. Remember, as I said earlier, she is the defending champion and she definitely want to be in the running. She was at a 9 under today, had a whole lot of birdies in there, a hat-trick of birdies to be fair, on hole 14, 15 and 16, and then 17 being a bit of an undoing, and then, well, yeah, hole 18 looks like she might have to settle for an even score. Having said that, yes, Koji won as she gets ready with her next challenge. That's her second shot or approach for hole number 13. 122 meters to cover. Lovely follow through. Very copybook, and that's just a bit too much of club on it. And she's definitely flown the green here. So I don't think that was the intention. Meanwhile, here's Anjehi.
Nice birdie. Shot.
And well played by Anjehi. Javi Boonchant needs to get out of the beach. Too much of a suntan there. That's on hole 13, and I think just a bit of disappointment for her. Well, I do hope she's not hit it into the woods. And I think Koji won't just helping her out. I think she did hit it into the woods, and that could be a bit of an undoing. Well, she was going great guns, but that's what happens in a round of golf, isn't it? Jang Yun So now aiming for birdie on hole 12. And I would be most happy to see Jang Yun So just get out of that 7 under. Well, she's done nothing wrong. As long as you don't drop points and you can keep yourself steady, that's pretty much what where it matters. Here's Charavi Boonchant. Well, just searching for a ball, and it's definitely in the woods. She will have a, well, stroke penalty, there's no doubt about that, but that won't matter. What matters is that she can locate the ball, and this is what happened. Well, she wasn't entirely in control, well, of that. And I think that ball just caught the wrong edge of the club. And, well, it swiveled to the right. Well, just a tad bit unfortunate for her. Well, that's the crazy thing about a round of golf, isn't it? If something has to go wrong on a given day, well, it just will. But it's all about being able to overcome that. Meanwhile, Rosengui aiming to finish on par for hole 12. And she's managed to keep her 10 under intact for the time being.
Drop in the bunker.
And looks like she'll have to go again with it. Well, young Jaravi Boonchand. Shinda in. Aim for birdie on hole 18, 6.5 meters. Oh, that is an outstanding piece of work. Shinda in. What a finish that is. 32 on the in, 35 on the out. She'll finish with a 9 under. And she's keeping her title defense alive. That is an absolutely fantastic way to finish off round 3. Shinda in, still very much in there, along with Siokyu Rim. And it's, as I said, this event is turning out to be so interesting. You've got the biggest winner of the year, Siokyu Rim, in there with 4 championships and now gunning for a 5th and also her 3rd consecutive one on the trot, which is a hat-trick literally. And then you've got Shinda in defending a title, who's back in the running here today. So this event is certainly turning out to be much more than we could have imagined. Jaravi Boonchand, meanwhile, she's had a stroke penalty, and this time she'll keep it on the fairways. Well, she's definitely going to land up dropping a few points here. Probably looks like a double bogey. But unfortunate for her. She was really going great guns. But, you know, doesn't change too much. She's still very much in the running. Sung Yoo-jin on to her second effort for hole 14. She's currently on a 6 under, 207 meters to cover. Jaravi Boonchand. Now all eyes will be on her for the rest of this event. She's done well to place that well onto the green, but that's... Well, she's already got a bogey in there. Here goes Ryo Seung-hui next. It's nicely played. Yun high rim onto her third effort for hole 18, 109 meters to cover. But do keep in mind the fact that the 15th KG Ladies Open is a 1 billion Korean won event. It's a very interesting one. Of that is terrific placement, terrific. And she's got a smile on her face for that as well. Just wanted to travel an inch or two more, would have done the trick. Yu Yeon looking to finish on par for hole 15, and that's going to be a bogey for her. Koji Won needs to get off the rough. That's exactly what she does. Charlie Boonchant. Just onto a double bogey here, and that too might be a bit of a tough ask, 8.8 meters. That means it's going to be a bit of a problem for Jaravi Boonchant.
플레이 안 해요.
Ryo Seung-hui needs to think things through. Koji Won also missing out. Roshan gauging the situation. Jaravi Boonchant will have to be very careful with this. Well, she's probably going to try and miss out a snowman here for certain. And will have to aim or settle for a grouse just to stop the decline in points. So this points vanishing. And that is a grouse for her. Certainly her undoing there. So she's dropped to a tied 7th. 7 under here. She was going great guns, Jaravi Boonchant, but she's still got a lot of holes to play for, and she can make a huge comeback. All the golfers have, including Steoku Rim and Shinda in here today, so no putting it past anyone. Meanwhile, I think Ro Seung-hui is still going through the motions with her ball being stuck. Just trying to figure whether, well, she was on the beach or she was out of it. I think most certainly she's out of it, and that tends to be even more trickier because you've got to make sure that you scale well over the sand. It's only her second shot for hole 13, so she can play it safe. Well, avoid the bogey, going for an even score. Well played by her. Gets out of the trouble spot, but she's onto the rough. I've said this earlier, she will have to look at an even score. That ball definitely afraid of the dark, but an easy cleanup should just about sort it out. Gentle tap, a bit of coaxing, and that ball will pretty much behave itself. Meanwhile, Jung So-yi will tee off for hole 16. Well, keep in mind the fact that while Ryo Seung-hui was a story to write about yesterday, it was really Steoku Rim and more importantly Shin Da-in who will take the spotlight today. Wonderful performances from them. Very, very impressed. Here's Koji Won as she gets ready to tee off for hole number 14. 477 meters, par 5 for the asking. Ryo Seung-hui leads the way now with a 10 under after, Jaravi Boonchant dropped out from that top. Shin Da-in and Park Hae-jun have both finished their day's event and tied second with 9 under, while you have, of course, Choi Rim sitting just below that with her other, contenders, Steoku Rim and Lee Seong-won, you would believe. But Steoku Rim, of course, did finish off well, so just going to keep you updated on where the leaderboard currently stands, and more importantly, just to figure out how things are. So Shin Da-in and Park Hae-jun in that tied second, and then you've got Choi Rim and Steoku Rim in tied fourth. If Steoku Rim can finish off with a 9 under, she'll go back to that tied second. You've also got then the tied Lee Seong-won is also in tied fourth, and then you've got a tall order with 7 under and tied seventh, which involves Choi Yun-woo, Park Hee-ji, Yoon Soo-ah, Yoo Ah-yeon, Yoo Seon, Koji Won, Jaravi Boonchant, An Jae-hee, and Jung Yun-soo. So interesting how this is panning out. Stay with us, don't go anywhere as we continue with our coverage of the 15th KG Ladies Open. So Jaravi Boonchand just picking up the pieces here onto her second, well, effort for hole number 14. She's on that 7 under, but she can change things around, there's no doubt about it. I don't think she's got any reason to really worry as such. Anjehi will go next. Yuso Yeon. She's got her work cut out for her as well. I do believe it's quite an interesting, well, turn of events here, just to look at how, well, most of the golfers have been able to craft their, well, game today. Now here's Ryo Seung-hui. That's well played by her. So she's currently, well played to avoid a double bogey, but she's dropped to a 9 under 2, which means now it's a tied first with Shin Da-in, Park Hae-jun and Ryo Seung-hui. And Koji won earlier. Well, she did help Jaravi Boonchand find her ball in the woods. Looks like she's, well, just got a spot of an issue here herself now. Jung In Soo will go next as she aims to finish on par for hole 13. And I think that's going to serve her pretty well here as Jung In Soo finishes on par to keep it to 7 under. So Yun Soo onto a 4th stroke for hole number 9. And that'll be a tap in for her. So Yun Soo does well. Would have been the intent, well, early on as well. And Jae-hee will go next as she aims to finish on par for hole 13. That's well played by her. Your rim to go next. And Syokyurum's performance will really matter here on that last hole, on hole 18, because it'll tell you a bit of a story as to, well, what you can expect going ahead. Sung Yoo Jin, second stroke for hole 15. Here's Ryo Seung-hui teeing off for hole 14. Still the joint leader in a three-way a bit now. She was the outright leader for a while.
나는 뒷바람 통을 좀더 강해가지고 카트 살짝 웃어도 괜찮아.
Jung In So teeing off for hole 14. That's well played there. Choi Yee-bon will tee off for hole 16. An Jae-hee to tee off for hole number 14 now. Ji-won, well, she's had to go through the motions as well on this hole. Yu Soo on 2. He's off for hole 16. Oh, that just missed its mark. That should have found its way through. Just about missed its mark. But she cleaned it up, so not a worry here. As Syokyurim finishes with an 8 under. But 68, 72 and 68. She's had good scores. Yesterday was a bit of a challenge for her, but she's back in business. Yoshungwi. Just nice and easy. Jarvi Boonchant. Chance for an eagle here on hole 14. I'd love to see her get that. And just a narrow miss for her as that ball curved around, but I'm sure she'd like to, well, do it a bit better than that. Lee Sung-yeon on hole number 17. So over to Koji Won now. And that's nicely played. Took a bit of time to get things done. Was stuck in a spot, and she's got a smile on her face just to get out of that situation. Well, it's always the joy in golf, isn't it, when you can find your way out. Jaravi Boonchant aiming for birdie on hole number 14. And that's going to be an on par finish for her. I can't help but feel a tad bit awful for her. You see on 2, will aim for birdie. And she'll be happy to have nailed that just in time. Choi Bon aiming for birdie now on hole 16, a chance for her to get that score up, and that's, well, going to be a bit of a distance from the actual destination. Few challenges here for our golfers as they get through the day. Some of them, of course, getting their putts right. It's been, well, very good in terms of the temperature, in terms of the weather. Second effort here for An Jae-hee on hole 14. Going to keep you updated on where it stands currently. So temperatures dropped just a little bit, 28 degrees Celsius, still cloudy skies, but wind speeds have increased to about 1.1 miles, so you can see those flags, well, just doing a bit of a samba in the wind. It's back to Jihan Sol now. She aims for birdie on hole number 16. She's at a 5 under, 2 more holes to play for after this, so it's going to be interesting to see how she performs. Very well played. Jang In So on to her second effort. Jaravi Boonchand still needs to uplift her performance here just to get back to where she was. She'll tee off for hole 15. We're just talking about 4 holes left. She was a joint leader for quite a bit of time before she had that grouse and dropped 3 points. But there's always a chance to get back up and about. And that's close enough to the destination. And a quick tap in should do it all here. Time for Koji Won to tee off for hole 15. So Koji Won does well. Yu Ayon aiming for a birdie here. That's well played by her as she gets to an 8 under. Ryo Seung-hui had a bit of a chilly dip there, but that's great placement from her. Absolutely wonderful. Sung Yoo Jin, he's off for hole 16.
야!
Jihan Sol onto a second stroke for hole 17. Jang In So. She's certainly been a bit of a case study here. Could have nailed that birdie there, but she's had her moments. I do believe she would love to uplift herself, get back up and about from where she is currently. On Jae-hee needs to get out of the cat box. She's been well in there for a bit. Well, shipped that out, but she's onto the rough. I think she was aiming to get it onto the green. Hong Hyun Ji teeing off for hole 16. She's on 5 under currently. Coach Won also needs to get out of the beach. Second stroke here on hole 15. Charvi Boonchant. It's going to be a second effort for hole 15. And we're straight off onto the green, back again. Ryo Seung-hui just gauging the situation. Needs to find a birdie on hole 14 if she wants to claim the outright lead back again. She's been there a couple of times since yesterday, and that's just narrowly going to miss its mark. Just a bit of disappointment for her. You can see that. Well, sometimes a bit of frustration will set in. Jihan Sol, chance for a birdie on hole 17. And that's well played. Jung In So nails a birdie, gets it up to 8 under. She's broken that jinx, and that fist bump will tell you a story as well. What a relief for her, a real sigh of relief. Jung In So on to her approach shot for hole 9. She's got 96 meters to travel. Ryo Seung-hui needs to finish on par for hole 14. Hong Hyun Ji. It's going to be her second effort on hole 16. Chance for a birdie here. And she's just narrowly missed it. Could have gone up to well, a 6 under. Meanwhile, Yosoyeon 2 aims for birdie on hole number 17. She's at a 7 under. That's well played here. Yuayeon. It's going to be her third effort for hole 18. She's currently on an 8 under. 125 meters to the hole. She's definitely landed the green. Not too much of a worry here for her. Nicely played finally. So well, after we've had a first day of trial and error, a second day of weathering the weather, pun intended, and a third day, which has just turned out to be the real setup for the finale. This is a real contest we're looking at here. Koji Won now aiming for birdie on hole 15. And she definitely would like to, well, uplift her performance, Koji Won. Because she started off winning the first event in the KLPGA in Korea Republic, which was on 5th April when she won the, Siena Open. So she has been there among the winners, and she'll be very eager to turn things around. Jung Yun So now, she also, well, did have a win, and that was on the 9th of August when she won the Jeju Samdasu Masters. It was a 1 billion Korean won event, so a couple of big winners in here still, well, occupying, the course. So it'll be interesting to see what she can do, Jung Yun So. Jarabe Boonchant aiming for birdie on hole number 15. She's just been missing out, with those putts in the last two. Well, she was near perfect right till the time that she actually hit the woods. And it can change your morale, more importantly, your temperament just a little bit. Or let me get the word right, it can change your rhythm. That's the real thing. An Jae-hee, of course, will tee off now for hole 15. Par 4 for the asking. And that's well played. Lee Joo-mi finishes with 33 on the out, 34 on the in, and 7 under. Now she'll be happy about that performance so far today. So still a lot expected here. Just gauging the situation. Well, that's the best thing you want to do, most importantly. You are Yon, as she aims for birdie on hole 18. Would like to finish the day well in that tied. Well, first or second, depending on what Rosungwi does at the end of the day. Oh, that's a beautiful putt. Absolutely wonderful birdie here as Yuhayon becomes joint leader now. Consecutive birdies on 17 and 18, 33 on the out, 35 on the in, and a 9 underscore. Absolutely marvelous. It's all heating up now to a very exciting contest for tomorrow. Yang Yun Seo aims for birdie on hole 9. Well played. Very, very well played. Lee Sung-yeon aiming for birdie here, and just a narrow miss for her. And that's well played. Shin Ji-woo will tee off for hole number 16. It's well played by her, up in the air. Meanwhile, Chung Yun-seo onto a second effort for hole 15. Koji Won next. Got herself into a decent position. Jarvi Boonchant. She'll tee off for hole 16. 154 meters to cover. It's a par 3 for the asking. Anjehi will go next. That's well played by her. Ryu Singwi onto provisional ball here for hole 15, and well, the tide just turning against her for a bit. Might have to drop points. Over to Sung Yoo Jin. So Ryo Seung-hui going in with that provisional ball. So Shinda in now at the top there with Yoo Ha-hyun, Park Hae-jun and Ryo Seung-hui all share the top spot with 9 under. Tied 5th, we've got Lee Sung-yeon, Choi Yi-rim, Seo Kyu-rim and Jung Yun-so. And in tied 9th, Lee Joo-mi, Yoon Soo-ah, Choi Yun-woo, Park Hee-ji, Yoo Se-yeon, Young Hyo-jin, Sung Yoo-jin and Ko Ji-won, along with Jaravi, Boonchant and An Jae-hee. It's a tall order all the way to the tied 9s, and I do believe that we are going to see, well, a few changes as we get through the contest.
앞에 이거 안 걸려?
그건 상관없어.
상관없어. 맞기만 하면?
거기는 걸릴 것 같진 않고.
So Ryo Seung-hui definitely going through the motions here. Needs to get out of the, well, deep.
너무 근데 세게 막.
Can be a bit daunting at this point of time. Well played there. Ryo Seung-hui gets it back onto the green. Sung Yoo-jin, third effort. Sung Yoo-jin will finish that off. That's nicely played. Han Jae-hee will aim for birdie on hole 15. Well, as things are heating up here with the contest, now the golfers really trying to push in as much as they can. Jeremy Boonchant, another chance here for a birdie, but it's 8.8 meters to cover. Jang In-soo aiming for a birdie on hole 15. That could have taken her up just one spot higher. Shin Ji-woo as she aims for birdie on hole number 16. Ryo Seung-hui, well, will end up bogeying that. She almost had it together. Did well, actually, to get out of her rough spot earlier. And she's going to drop down to, well, tied fourth there. She's had 3 bogeys here today and 2 birdies as she drops to 8 under. And definitely that disappointment, well, soaking in. Sung Yoo-na goes next. And she'll be happy about that. A job well done. A birdie on hole 17. She's up to a 7 under. Just 1 bogey and 3 birdies in there. Koji won't tees off for hole 17. Young Hyojin will go next. It's a third effort on hole 9. Charlie Boonchant will tee off now for hole 17. 263 meters, par 4 that we're looking at. And Charlie Boonchant, well, will rue her missed opportunities here today. It's just that one bit of a blemish that she had earlier. Oh, wonderful shot there. Wonderful drone shot of the layout, just giving us a view of that shades of green. I do love it always on a golf course. You see some of the trees where the leaves start to wither and age, some which are fresh and some which are at their peak in that dark green shade. Just amazing. If you love colors and you love shades, well, nothing better than watching a golf course. And a well manicured one. Yes, Jang Yun So now as she tees off for hole number 16. Talking of the well manicured course, let's remind you that this, of course, is very much one of those beautiful courses where a lot of cherry blossom trees do happen to be around. And when it's blossoming season, the sakura blossoms are just fantastic. The Stirling Point Country Club, we are coming at you live from this place, which is situated just, well, close to 3 expressways. And it's right here in Baigyeongmyeon, Cheonggu, Yongin-si, Gyeonggi-do. Now, the Yeongdong Expressway, the Sejong-Pocheon Expressway, and the Jungbu Expressway are all very close to the course, very easily accessible actually, and great harmony in terms of the nature, the flora and fauna. It's more greens than actually floral, but I do love it. Anjae will tee off now for hole 16. She's going in with a 7-iron. Well played by her to get it onto the green. It's definitely going to be a bit of a task, but I think at the end of the day, as long as she finds, well, a 1 underscore somewhere, I think it'll be good for her. Koji Won, meanwhile, with her approach for hole 17. She's been fairly good, but it's hovered around that 7 under for a while. She's got a 7-iron. So Ryo Seung-wi will tee off for hole 16. Jaravi Boonchant on to a second effort for hole 17. She's going in with an 8-iron. Jihan Sol will aim for birdie on hole 18. Just a narrow miss for her. And there we go, that beautiful fountain. So Shindae-in, Yu Yeon and Park Hae-jun now stand at the top with that 9 underscore. Lee Sung-yeon, Choi Yi-rim, Seok Rim, Jung Yun-soo and Ryo Seung-gui tied fourth with 8 under. And don't forget that that is still a very, very close bit. In tied ninth, you've got Lee Joo-mi, Yoon Soo-ah, Choi Yun-woo, Park Hee-ji, Yoo Se-yeon, Sung Yoo-jin, Sung Yun-ah, and Yang Hyo-jin, who are tied with 7 under. So right here at the Stunning Point Country Club, things are heating up. We are getting towards the latter part of this day's event, which is round 3 in the 15th KG Ladies Open. Let's not forget that this is the 21st event in the 2026 KLPGA calendar. Stay with us, don't go anywhere as we continue with our coverage. So Jung Yun Soo may have shaken off that 7 under score. Chance here for her to go up to a 9 under. Just a narrow miss there for her. Jaravi Boonchant, 13 meters to the hole for hole 17. Anjay Hee coming for birdie on hole 16. Koji Won aims to birdie on hole 17. Ryo Seung-hui aiming for birdie on hole 16. Chance for her to get back up to that top. And well played. So back there as joint leader, Ryo Seung-hui. She's got 2 more holes to play for, and finally a smile on her face. Had 2 bogeys in there that took her off the top, but here she is, back in a strong position. While Jaravi Boonchand needs to finish on par here for hole 17. And that's exactly what she's done. Yu Se-yeon on to a 4th effort for hole 18. So Yu Se-yeon finishes with 7 under and 17 round 3 in that tied 7th. Young Hyojin will go next as she aims for birdie on hole number 9. Young Hyojin finishes with 6 birdies, 4 consecutive birdies at the end. That is a fantastic performance, and this is exactly what I was saying. Most of these golfers really today stepping out of their zone, and it's been a very, very well, constructive day for them. Jung In-so will go next as she tees off for hole 17. Here's Jihan Sol. An Jae-hee will go next as she tees off for hole number 17. Jaravi Boonchand next. She tees off for hole 18. It's going to be a last hole to play for today. Good bit of a swing in that. Jung In-so will tee off for hole 17. Sung Yoo-jin. It's going to be her 3rd effort for hole 18. Ryo Seung-hui will go next. She tees off for hole 17. Two holes to play for. She's already on hole 17, Ryo Seung-hui. I think it's going to be interesting for her. Keep in mind the fact that, well, last year she had a pretty decent run, Ryo Seung-hui, but this year she has yet to win an event. Sung Yu now. It's going to be her third effort on hole 18, 43 meters to cover. Yvonne will go next. That's going to be her approach for hole 18. Shinji Wu. Second effort for hole 18. So Jaravi Boonchant onto a second stroke for hole 18. And much depends on how she finishes this hole here today. Well, she does draw closer, got herself a bit of distance on the fairways. Sung Yu Jin just miss out on a birdie here. While Ryo Seung-hui needs to get out of her spot again. She's had a few of them. She's been able to overcome some of them, but she did drop her outright lead. Well played by her. Next, it's Song Yuna. Would like to finish her day on a positive. And that's exactly what she does, the victory lap, and even if it's an even score, 71, 68 and 70 in the 3 rounds that she's played, finishes with a 7 under. Sung Yoo Jin
어디 있어요?
will look to finish on par for hole 18. So 67, 72 and 70. She finishes with a 7 under. So Shinji Wu will go next. It's got to be a 3rd effort for hole 18. Well, she does land herself a spot on the green. I think that should work well for her. Well, that ball's just played truant and bounced away for Koji Won. So An Jae-hee onto her 3rd effort for hole 17. Jarvi Boonchand, now her approach shot for hole 18, 92 meters to cover. And she's done well here. Would be nice to see her, well, finish off the day on a positive. Chung In So onto her 3rd effort for hole 17. And that'll be worth all the effort. Jung Yin So has certainly had, well, a very interesting round 2 and 3. Meanwhile, here's Jaravi Boonchant. That was perfect placement from her. A chance to finish with a birdie and end the day on a positive. And what a wonderful way to go. Jaravi Boonchant, she's been the toast of today. 34 on the out, 38 on the in. And even with that grouse, finishes with an 8 under. And she's going to be back tomorrow. So we're going to see a lot more of this young lady. Absolutely marvelous performance from her. That's a real comeback if you ask me. Ryo Seung-hui aims for birdie on hole 17. Chance for her to take the outright lead once again. She'll have to settle for an on par. Ji-won will aim for birdie on hole 18. So Ko Ji-won finishes with 7 under, 34 on the out and 37 on the in. She's had her moments, but she's finished well here today. Ryo Seung-hui finishes on par for hole 17. And that's a nice clean sweep to finish it off. Shin Ji-woo finishes with 68, 69 and not the best here in round 3 with 76, and she's got 3 under in the bag.
조금 빨리 걸어와 주세요. 감사합니다. 바람 좀 불어있어. 뛰어보지 말고 그냥 느낌 정도만.
Decent enough carry, 210 meters, 18-meter curve as well. Ryosungwi will tee off. It's going to be a last hole for the day. Chance for her once again to get back up to the top and fly solo. .223 meters carry, 7-meter curve there. So Anjahi will tee off next. So here we go. It's a four-way climb to the top with Shinda in, Yu Ah-hyun and Park Hae-jun sharing the top spot with Ro Seung-wi on 9 under. Lee Seung-gyun, Choi Yu-rim, Yang Hyo-jin and Seok Yu-rim are in tied 5th with 8 under along with Jaravi Boonchant and Jung Yun-so. Lee Joo-mi, Yoon Soo-ah, Yu Seon, Yoon Sung-yu-jin, Choi Yun-woo and Park Hee-ji are in tied 11th with 7 under. So it's been a tough call for a lot of our golfers on day 2, but today it's an entirely different story. Most of them have done extremely well. Well, let's remind you once again that this is the 15th KG Ladies Open being played right here at the stunning, Country Club. And we were coming at you live for the last 2 days as well as today. Still got a few more holes to play for today, a few more golfers still in there. And it's going to be a very, very thrilling finish because remember, there's not much of points separating, the top 20 golfers in this event. And it will be a very, very exciting day tomorrow. So don't forget to catch the action for round 4 as well for the finale. Having said that, we are pretty much getting to that part of the season where this is the 21st event of the KLPGA calendar. The first, of course, started off with the Regiran Championship, which was played outside Korea Republic in Thailand. And ever since then, of course, the remaining 19 events were played in Korea Republic. That's always the case with most often. And the good part is that, for the first time, Jaravi Boonchang picked up a win this year. It was her debut or her first win in the KLPGA. And, the way that she's performed today, it really goes to show how she's not only developed in leaps and bounds as a very, very solid and seasoned golfer, but her talent really beginning to, flow over from that cup. So Jung Yun So now, it's a second effort for hole 18. She's currently on an 8 under.
떠 있어가지고.
And Jae Hee, it's going to be a second stroke for hole 18.
카트하고 타닥타닥 누구는 쫙 빼가 불고만 옛날에 보니까
So here we go with Roh Seung-gui. And that's the second effort.
또 이건 저러구나.
드라이브를 잘못 치니까 이런 카트 맞는 거 지금 많이 안 가.
많이 안 가니까 예열이 타고 내려가시 안 돼.
So some of the best shots of today, just to look back at them on hole 18. We had Lee Jae-yeon, who was aiming for birdie. That was beautifully done by her as that ball found its way home. Then on hole 10, we had Choi Yi-bon. It was the second effort. Hole 11, Yoo So-yeon needed to find her way to the tin cup. And that putt pretty much did it. Nice gentle push from her that saw it swing forwards. Just very, very controlled effort. And then Bai So-yeon on hole number 15. There was another good bit of work being done. And on hole 16, it was Kang Chae-yeon as she aimed to birdie. And just narrowly missed out on it, but she was able to tap that in and finish the job. So some of our, shining moments there, and some of our golfers really doing well. Now you can see that exodus of people on the right, and that's what's going to happen tomorrow. That's going to increase to about 2 or 3 times and it'll be really like people migrating from one country to the other across the border on foot. And I've always said this, which is why I call it the Exodus. But it's really, really exciting to see that happen, because that's when the golfers really play to the gallery more than anything else. There's nothing like an audience. If you're an athlete or if you're a musician, you're a stage actor, you're always playing not just for yourself or performing for yourself, but it's also for the fans, your family, friends, whoever's turned up there. And it will be very interesting. It gets even more exciting with the crowds around. Not to forget the cheers, the encouragement. Jung In So. It's going to be a third effort, her approach here for hole 18. Very natural swing taken there by Jung In So, but she's put herself almost towards the border of the green. We are seeing Green meanwhile is on to her approach shot for hole 18 as well. That's very well played. Jae-hee. It's going to be her approach as well for hole 18. Let's also remind you that once we're done, of course, with the 15th KG Ladies Open, there's still more golf to follow, because quickly after that, we've got the OK Savings Bank OK Man Open, which will kick in. And the finale of that is on the 6th of September. And that's going to be followed by the KB Financial Group Golden Life Championship, which is a 1.5 billion Korean won event. So September, you've actually got 4 events, including the Hana Financial Group Championship and the K-Food Nolbu Huami Masters. Very, very exciting times for us in this, period of time. And this is when, the season really comes to a helm. And then, of course, you've got 2 events with the SOL Championship, followed by the Dabo Housley Championship, which will finish off this year's calendar. Can't believe it just started and it's cruised through so fast. Time sure flies. Our golfers will tell you that as well. I've been very thankful for the day, very grateful for the fact that we've had not too much of sun, not too many clouds. It's been just a very pleasant day where you could actually get out and have a picnic. So our golfers have, well, been easy with that. There is a spot of heat. It was about 29 degrees Celsius, came down to 28.
처음에서 중간까지 좀 있어요.
Jung In Soo will go next as she aims for birdie on hole number 18.
저걸 지나가야 되나?
Ryo Seung-hui would like to finish her day's event with a birdie, but she's got the wind speeds working against her here. So Ryo Seung-hui looking to find her way through. It's going to be a meticulous putt. She'll have to think it through. Oh, that was beautifully played. Almost did it for her. And she'll have to settle for that 9 under score. If she can just clean this up with just a gentle tap, that should do it. And that's exactly what she does. So no worries here. It's been a tough day for her. She led yesterday, dropped out of the top, led today. It was an on and off battle with Jaravi Boonchant before. Well, Jaravi did have that grouse in the bag. Not really desired, but she came back to finish off with an 8 under. And, well, Ryo Seung-hui has finished with 9 under. So it's not too much of a change. Just 1 point now separating those two who had that very, very intense battle going on. Meanwhile, Jung In Soo, who shook off that 7 under tag after a whole lot of well efforts, she's got a chance here also to finish off well. So Jung In Soo can finish off with an on par for hole 18. She'll have to if she wants to keep that 7 at bay. And that's going to be a bit of an undoing for her. Well, I can't help but, I said this earlier in the day, sometimes you get stuck at a score and you'll just hover around that. And she's been running circles around that 7 under. So 65, 71 and 73 in round 3. 7 under is what she finishes with. Her best showing, of course, was on day 1. It's a bit unfortunate there for her. Would have liked to have finished with an 8 under, but we should see her back tomorrow. Meanwhile, Anjehi will aim for a birdie here on hole 18. Well played there by Anjehi. 67, 69 and 73 consecutively, but she finishes with 7 under, which isn't too bad, even though it wasn't her best outing out of the 3 days. So Shindain, Yu Ayon, Park Hae-jun and Ryo Seung-hui at the top of the heap there with that, tied first position. Lee Sung-hyun and, along with a few others sitting right there behind. So let's give you a rundown of how it looks. Shindain, Yu Ayon, Park Hae-jun, Ryo Seung-hui at the top with that 9 under. Right behind them, close on the heels, you've got, of course, Lee Sung-hyun, Choi Rim, Yang Hyo-jin, Seokyo Rim, and of course Jaravi Boonchant along with Jung Yun Soo on 8 under. And then you've got those 7 unders in tied 11th with Lee Joo-mi, Yoon Soo-ah, Yoo Seon, Sung Yoo-jin, Choi Yun-woo, Park Hee-ji, Song Yun-na, Ko Ji-won. And that, of course, is going to tell us a bit of a story tomorrow. So it's going to be a wonderful day. Tomorrow, very, very hot contest, if you ask me, and a really, really close finish. So don't forget to join us. My name is Glenn Mascarenas. We're taking you through round 3 of the 15th KG Ladies Open in the 2026 KLPGA calendar, 21st event of the year. So from the Stunning Point Country Club, from me, Glenn Mascarenas, and producer John Kim and the entire crew, it's time to say bye-bye for now. Catch you again tomorrow.